No mai, hoki mai, welcome back in. Well, it's a very tight contest in Tokyo. Just 4 points in this one between the All Blacks and Japan. Let's head into the All Blacks coaching shed and catch up with their assistant, Scott McLeod.
Well, Scott, what was your assessment of the first 40 minutes?
Yeah, first 30 was okay. We were really direct and decisive. We want to go back to that. The last 10, we just started to fall off being direct, really, and with our tackler just falling off tackles and giving them an opportunity.
You're going to have to make some adjustments. Does some of that come from your bench?
Yeah, well, but this first 10 minutes is really critical that we have to up our effort and play at speed with them.
Thanks, Scott.
Cheers, mate.
Well, you heard it there from Scott McLeod. The first 10 minutes is going to be key. Let's rejoin our commentary team, Justin Marshall, Mills Muliaina and Tony Johnson.
Well, when these teams first met in an official test, the margin was 128 points. Gradually, it's reduced over the years, 76, 48, 38 the last time, and at the moment, it's a 4-point margin at half-time. All Blacks, with some fortune too, it has to be said, lead, but just 21-17. There is work to be done, and Japan, well, they are right in this. Second half about to start in front of an excited, massive crowd at the Tokyo National Stadium. Richie Mo'unga starts the second half. Fifita, the left winger, who has been tremendous. I think the star of the show, really, for Japan, though, has been their centre, Dylan Riley. A mix of creativity and some excellent running from him. New Zealand are going to get an opportunity from a line-out midway 22 and halfway. One of the try scorers. And what a moment for Takuya Yamasawa, who's directed play well, but the All Blacks will be looking for a good, positive start to the second half. Samisoni Taukei'aho, and again, didn't look very straight. Ball veering away to the All Black side of the line out, but he's let it go. And, well, that happened in the first half, and they ended up coughing up a try, Japan. Taukei'aho sets it on the 10-metre mark. Tupou Vaa'i. Japan's tackling has been excellent. Just a few times they've been pinged for not rolling away at the breakdown. Now Hoskins Sotutu trying to make inroads up the middle. Mo'unga quickly moving it on. Braden Ennor. Perofeta going into contact, but driving ahead in the tackle of Riley. So the All Blacks starting to get some front foot ball here now. Kane quickly through the hands. Tuivasa-Sheck. Caleb Clark busting onto it. Breaking tackles. Caleb Clark so hard to stop. And that's the perfect start to the second half for New Zealand.
That's the tempo they are after as well. Nice and direct at times. Decoy runners doing their job, sucking in defenders, and when they needed it, it was the pace and power of Caleb Clark. You could see the decoy runner was Tupou Vaa'i. Nice little shift from Tuivasa-Sheck. Caleb Clark powered on through the tackle. With his firepower that close to the line, when you get shrugged off a tackle, it's always going to be danger time.
Oh, they set it up nicely too. Sam Cane with the ball out the back. Initially, they just were going off one-off runners with a couple of guys on the inside cleaning that ruck, and then the back ball caught the Japanese side off guard, and Caleb Clark just bounces off a few tackles. Great way to start the second half for Ian Foster's men.
Well, the kick is good, and so the All Blacks restore some order. 28-17, Caleb Clark, immensely powerful. Japan have made so many good tackles, but you let them get through one, and you're in trouble. So what can Japan find by way of response? Yamasawa sets it down towards the 22. Ends up in the hands of Sevu Reece. Taukei'aho, see how quickly they are to try and get up on him and stop him before he builds any momentum. Now Stephen Perofeta, well, the All Blacks kicked a lot of ball in the first half, and that, like many of the first half kicks, not particularly effective. And it gives Japan a chance to launch something. Yamasawa under pressure, and he's lost it. Caleb Clark has it for New Zealand. Mo'unga, this time going for length, trying to get it in behind, and does so too. Oh, this is terrific. This could be a 50-22. Sevu Reece giving chase. And in the end, the flag goes up.
Just take your time.
Hang on.
Just not quite sure, the assistant, whose hand it went off.
Yeah, Sevu Reece certainly had a go at trying to win that ball. It was him and Fita, I think, was tracking back. It was a nice kick from Mo'unga, and the bounce was really favourable. Once it hit the ground, the Revolutions were heading straight towards the touchline, which made Fifita to scramble.
Black 40.
And then there was a contest on the touchline. Sounds like it might have been knocked on by Sevu Reece.
Well, it was a searching kick.
Okay, thank you.
Fifita going back, and Marius Jonker has decided it went off Sevu Reece, so Japan throw. And, well, they go for the low trajectory, and it works. No one left the ground, but they still got the ball away, and Yamanaka puts it into touch. Not a lot of ground, though. All Blacks have the line out inside the 22. That one just a little overthrown. Brodie Retallick can't take it. Himeno charging away with it. It was lost forward by New Zealand. That advantage will be swallowed up pretty quickly. Again, Riley with a little kick through. Almost got it. Well, he's got a lovely array of kicks, this fellow.
What he's very good at is going to the line. So as a defender, he's big, he's strong, he's going to carry. He's shown he's got an offload. But at times he's got that little subtlety where you think that he's going to line you up and look like he's going to put some footwork of power through. And what he does is he's got that little grubber kick that he's executed 2 to 3 times, and the All Blacks haven't read it at all.
Such a great decision as well, because it was the All Black ball. They've lost it. And so peddling back was Perofeta. So it was certainly on. The execution was on point. Just didn't get the bounce that he wanted.
Well, Brodie Retallick not too happy. He felt that Dearns might have impeded him in the air. It looked like the throw might have been just a little bit overcooked, but there's great pressure again. Dearns and Leach it was going up. But now the All Blacks have the scrum feed.
Speaking of pressure, they were starting to go to work on that loose head side, Bauer and Vai'i.
Oh, we'll get a good look at it here. Well, front rows have gone down. Referee says play on Mo'unga, bobbing and weaving. They're up offside, gets a nice ball away. Perofeta. Now Sevu Reece. Pass back on the inside. Perofeta, well, he had Braden Ennor ranging up in support. He couldn't quite take the pass, but I think they'll come back.
10 and 12 offside.
Yeah, they were offside.
And they did really nice, the All Blacks, to bring Fifita in.
Right.
He got hooked in with this move. The scrum was dominant.
10-12 offside.
Perhaps there Laulala went down, but referee Usha Mukili decided to let them play on. Mo'unga and co, you can see there how far in the left winger was, which gave Perofeta the space back on the inside from Reece, and he couldn't get it to Ennor, who was supporting him.
Nakamura, it was coming across. He's been very solid on defence. Craig Miller coming on in jersey 17. Former Highlanders prop who moved to Japan in 2018 to join the Sunwolves. And to just get in on the old 3-year qualification.
Yeah, I think they need some freshness on that side of the scrum. It's starting to come under pressure, so Jamie Joseph's recognised that by making the change.
Well, again, they get up and contest. This time it was Cornelsen, and Japan have pinched it.
You got a ball there, yeah?
That was a great run too from Nakamura, but now the ball's been lost. So Yamasawa decides to send it deep. Caleb Clark shaping to kick. Wasn't going to, though. Ran at them. Bauer pass not great. Tuivasa Sheck, well, ducked under one from Mike Leach before he's taken by Miller. A bit of space here for Frizzell trying to turn the ball around the corner. It's been snapped up, though, by Japan. In fact, it was Tupovai it was with the attempt at offload. You can see the frustration there.
He was counter-rucking, no problem there.
Oh, they're just affecting the flow on here, trying to force that miracle pass. Tupovai. The transition also has been pretty good from the Japanese side, from defence into attack.
It's been very evident the way that the All Blacks are looking to use Tupovai with his skill set. He's coming from depth a lot. He's often that second runner off the initial receiver, so the tip goes on to him. And the depth that he shows is outstanding.
Well, this is Faulua Makisi, the Tongan-born player, also coming on in jersey 22. Is Lee Seung-sin, the player with Korean origins, although he's lived all his life in Japan. And off goes Yamasawa.
Heads away, heads away. Head straight. Crunch. Boy.
So you got the new man packing down. They've taken Tatafu off. It was immense early. Now Japan, can they find a way through? Well, Fafita's the man who'll do it. Busting through tackles. Satutu eventually gets him. And tracking up in support. Matsushima just couldn't hang on to the offload. But again, that raw power of Siosaya Fafita, the left winger. Again, a kick from Mo'unga, drifting out towards the touchline. Yamanaka, beautifully positioned as always. And awkward kick too. Sevu Reece there after Finley Christie got into a bit of trouble. Now the kick ahead from Mo'unga, but it's easily mopped up at the back by Lee, the new man. Now here's Matsushima. Again, Riley involved, taking a nice infield ball. But penalty.
Securing the ball with extra move.
Nice work from Big Brodie Retallick.
Just got isolated a little bit, didn't he, Riley? Flat-footed from the pass. Brodie Retallick did an excellent job to get over that ball because he had to make the tackle as well, get back on his feet. He showed strong enough strength to be able to get over it.
Some sort of touch finder, Richie Mo'unga. That's the best part of 50 metres. He's got them right down near the 5.
Tu'ungafasi set to come on for the All Blacks. And Kazuki Himeno just being spoken to about a net roll. Marius Jonker advising the referee. But here's a good chance now for the All Blacks to start building that lead again. Taken down by Satutu. Fed back to Taukei'aho. But Japan have marshalled the force as well. Taukei'aho has to take it away. Tuivasa Sheck. Well, Ennor was right there on his shoulder as he barreled into contact. Christie wants quick ball, flat pass on the advantage line to Perofeta. Coming back for Christie. Taukei'aho again. Pops up. Caleb Clark is there. Bumps off one. Wrestled to the ground by Gu, the tight head prop. Satutu again. Well, they have defended really well, Japan. Can they continue to hang on and keep themselves in the game? Here's a chance to steal it, but the All Blacks get the support there just when they needed it.
No hands! The advantage holding the rocks. Rock forward first.
Now, contesting just a bit too much there, Japan, so the referee's playing advantage. They really are battling to get the ball over the advantage line at the moment, though, the All Blacks. Now the penalty comes.
Now they're in the fight, Japan, at the breakdown, are working hard in that area. Wasn't a great deal of variation in the All Blacks attack there. It was all about physicality. Players running hard at defenders. Cleaners coming as well, but Japan were equal to it.
They haven't minded that today, have they? Just that physical battle, the tackles, they've certainly stepped up. And here's a big side here that's letting them down at the moment. As those penalties, 7-2.
In a way, this is a little victory
Absolutely
for Japan, because this shows that they have defended the line-out drive superbly. Their timing has been excellent in the counter shove, and so the All Blacks opt for the scrum. "12 minutes gone, second half, just 11 points separating the teams."
Front. 5. 7. And use now.
Well, Finlay Christie brings it away. Tuivasa-Sheck running strongly. Stopped just 5 short of the line. Quickly there, Sotutu looking for an offload. Wasn't on. Takes it to ground. Now Laulala. Oh, left behind. Squirting out of the tackle. Brodie Retallick was the carrier. So the All Blacks lose a bit of ground. Bauer now. Christie glances away to the right, then has a little snipe around the fringe. On for a pick and go here. All Blacks now 5 away from the line. Taukei'aho makes it 4 metres away from the line, but some excellent work. Himeno, what a player he is. Kazuki Himeno.
He certainly is. He sniffed the opportunity. He had to reach a long way as well. You could probably debate whether or not by reaching that far he was supporting his own body weight. Look how far away he is. Has to get over 2 players. Elongated, but the key for him was getting his hands immediately on the ball. He showed that picture straight away to the referee, and it was good enough for him.
Yeah, it certainly was. He's made a couple of big plays, getting over that ball. Just that slight separation and the experience to go over it. The All Blacks making some changes now. The front row. Cody Taylor coming on. Taukei'aho. Lomax. Ofa Tu'ungafasi as well. So that's the end of Bauer, Laulala.
Tyrell Lomax been having a very good year, really has established himself in the front line of this All Black team. Scrum has certainly had the edge, but just the tenacity of this Japan team.
Well, tenacity. Look, honestly, they are tackling themselves to a standstill. They really are. The All Blacks are throwing the kitchen sink. Check that out. 3 times nearly as many. Unbelievable. 2.5 times more tackles than the All Blacks, and they are not missing many, given the amount they've got to make.
Up to 13 now. There's only 2 approaching half-time. Cornelsen coming forward to lift Leach. Now high goes Nagare. Beautifully taken by Sevu Reece. Very close to the touchline. Sotutu's carried a lot. Tackle made by 2 Kiwis, Miller and Derns. Both now very committed to this Japan team. Kicks charge. Oh, beautifully done by Derns. And the big man strides away for the try. That is sensational.
I tell you, if you need to fight your way into the game, sometimes you need a little bit of a lady luck. And they got it in spades there. They tackled well. Leach had a real dig at the breakdown, which slowed the All Blacks ball down. So Finlay Christie decided, because it was slow ball, that he should kick. Dern came forward. Not only did he charge it down, he gathered it in same motion. He had Reti Mo'unga, who's no slouch, chasing him, but the big man had too much speed. What a moment.
Oh, how impressive is this athleticism. He's a very tall man. He still had a jump. But the awareness to be able to see the ball pop in front of him and the finishing quality as well. That is amazing from the big fella.
Oh, what skill. Mentioned before his mum, Tania, a very well liked, very accomplished New Zealand netball player. Father Grant went to Japan. He's a fitness trainer. Warner Dearns followed on. He had options in New Zealand, but he's opted to go for Japan. He feels that Japan's been good to him, and he's paying them back with that. And now, here's a chance to bring it back to a 4-point margin again.
Well, that's what you need. Off the back of a lot of defence, we showed the tackle rate, and they were defending again, Japan, just to get the heads up, lift the spirits. Thunder Heaver is on the field. He'll cause some damage as well, but that's what Japan needed. A little bit of luck, a little bit of fortune to go their way.
Well, a little bit of luck, maybe. The All Blacks have had their share of that too. But now the story of this game is Japan have the chance to do something here that once upon a time they wouldn't have dared dream of. They trail the All Blacks by 4 points, and we're almost 3/4 of the way through the game. Perofeta, well, he ran straight at 2 defenders, and they stop him on halfway. Christie is there, Tonga Fasi to halfway.
No hands now. No. You down.
Retallick, you can see some real purpose the way he carried the ball there. Lomax now busting onto it. They bring it back the other way. Frizzell. Mo'unga again. Reese trying to dance his way through. Haven't been too many holes today, though. Cody Taylor. Frizzell again. So the All Blacks starting to click over the phases. Perofeta. Tackle made on him. Retallick working away, going back to basics here. Taylor, and an advantage coming the way of the All Blacks, and they'll need it too as the ball bounces away off the shins of Finlay Christie.
Well, again, nothing dramatic in that attack. It was either one out or at the maximum 2 passes from the All Blacks, just trying to take defenders on, clean rucks, trying to generate some quick ball. If I was looking at them, probably the one thing I'd like to see change is I'd like to see Richie Mo'unga become less predictable. At the moment, he's either just distributing or sitting and kicking. Haven't seen him take the line on or take a defender on, apart from the Roger Tuivasa-Sheck offload, which is where they looked absolutely outstanding, and Braden Ennor went in.
Yeah, and he's probably not getting the ball that he's wanting from his front forwards, really, is he? The Japanese defence is impressive. One guy's going in there, making the tackle, bouncing back up, then they're fanning out, and they're really putting heat on that ball. But you're right, Justin, he needs to step up and start rolling and playing the cutter.
All Blacks work a move. Taylor, Tuivasa-Sheck taking it to the 5. Dearns was there to make the tackle. There's Retallick. A bit of determination about the All Blacks now. They don't want to be making history here today. Not of the wrong kind. Vai, half a metre from the line. They go again. Christie, Sotutu wheeling and over.
And they've completely changed the style, the All Blacks. They are just going super physical. One-out runners, either pick and go or straight off 9. Running hard, running straight. And that is causing Japan all sorts of headaches at the moment. They're winning that physical battle. Japan are hanging in the fight, don't worry about that. But big ball carriers like Retallick, like Sotutu, like Lailala and co is what the All Blacks have gone to game plan-wise.
Yeah, and the right end of the park as well. They're a bit more explosive, the ball's a little bit quicker. One-out runners. Christie there, the passing is wide. Sotutu did an excellent job because he still had to roll out of a couple of tackles here. He was looking for that offload, no one was there, rolls out. Great try for the All Blacks.
Well, watched on by a couple of slightly above average rugby players. I'm not referring to you two, but Dan Carter and Richie McCaw in the crowd there.
We'll be on some sort of gravy train as usual.
Never heard of them.
Oh, Mo'unga with the conversion.
6 and 9 Japan.
Well, there was a bit of steely resolve from the All Blacks that time, because things were getting way too close for comfort. Back to an 11-point lead now. Naoto Saito on at halfback for Nagare, who's been very good.
Number 6. Yeah.
Aaron Smith on for New Zealand.
Good to go, thank you.
Michael Leach.
Some sort of shift from Michael Leach.
Oh, what a player. Brodie Retallick has been huge for the All Blacks. Cody Taylor tackled by Miller. Pedal Feta, although persisting with these high kicks, and lovely stuff from Caleb Clark, stretching up, grabbing it, but he's bundled over the touchline.
Took your ball. No.
They have kicked a lot, haven't they?
Yeah, we got top time is off.
Simply because Japan's defence has been so good, and it hasn't given them the momentum that they want. So from their own half, when it is static and slow and you don't want to turn the ball over, they've had to kick a lot from static ball.
Patrick Tuipulotu, somewhat unexpected return due to captain an All Blacks 15, a second or perhaps third string team that's going off to play a game in Ireland and one in London. But with Sam Whitelock unable to prepare for this game after problems with an inner ear infection, little bonus for Patrick Tuipulotu, and he makes his return to the All Blacks.
Okay, good to go. Hold on, Mark, for the first one, please.
Well, the big push, that final quarter. Which team is going to grab the ascendancy of this game now? Who has the tempo and the energy?
Japan still in with a chance to do something quite sensational. And here they come again. Ball's being dropped, though, by the replacement Makisi. You could see the stamp of Tony Brown all over some of these line-out variations.
And I think the innovation is outstanding, and it's very hard to read which area they're going to go and the subtleties that they've got. Probably their biggest problem this afternoon has been the fact that they've been creative enough, and under no real defensive pressure, they've coughed the ball up a bit too much because they're working hard in defence. They're not getting the position they'd probably want. When they get it, at times have just turned it over too easy through basic errors.
It's almost like they've been surprised about the fact they're in space and try to grab at the ball. So unexpected. There you go. The handling error is 13-9, and those are key areas as well because they're building pressure. And speaking of pressure, right now, the All Blacks are in perfect position. Midfield scrum, there's a split. The scrum has been pretty dominant. So just to get a nice set piece in the middle, some threats. Moonga on that left-hand side. Pedal Feta, he comes into play deceptively quick. And of course, at the back there, Hoskins Sotutu can easily bounce out either way.
The way that Japan is set up defensively, they're so flat and tight. Like getting the ball into Caleb Clark's hands on the left-hand side as we look at it. He's in some sort of space, and he's got heaps of space in behind him too because the defenders are so flat.
All Black scrum marches forward. Hurriedly kicked by Smith. And they'll take the penalty.
Just while we're sitting here creating all sorts of ways for them to open up with the ball in hand. The scrums will scrum it, say the forwards.
Oh, they got some fresh legs on there too, haven't they?
Well, they will be looking for a convincing finish to this game. There's been nothing convincing about it so far, and nothing convincing about that kick either. Hasn't gone into touch. Van den Heever has grabbed it, they've belted it back downfield, and instead of throwing it inside the 22, they're going to throw it in back up by halfway. Yamanaka thinks even further than that would be just. In fact, only as far as the 10-metre mark in the end. They're working at the front. Here's Cody Taylor stepping back in field, and Menel there to put him on the ground. coming for Smith, rifles the pass away. Sotutu, nice little offload to keep things alive. Tuivasa-Sheck flings the offload away to Anton Leonard-Brown, who's on the field for New Zealand. Now Vai going to muscle his way up towards the 22. Kane coming it in. Shimokawa on debut. Intercept almost. Oh, Yamanaka. What has slipped through your fingers there?
We're going to check possible foul play. We need to clear this by 4 black, please.
So we've just heard, hopefully you have as well, Marius Jonker, as we watch this opportunity for Yamanaka, that there's a possible piece of foul play by Brodie Retallick, I believe it is. But man, yes, that is just classic. They just haven't held on to the passes they've needed to, Japan.
Possible foul play.
I think this is going to go back to the ruck where the clean out, where he's gone in with his shoulder. Brodie Retallick. So obviously picked up by Marius Jonker.
We're just getting it on the screen.
I think fair to say, not often Brodie Retallick doesn't go in with the shoulder.
You ready, Marius, here?
Whether, whatever he's doing on the rugby field.
Bear with me a bit, please.
Yep.
So they come together. Well, this be an anxious moment here for Retallick.
Clear up.
This game is far from decided.
All right. Okay, here we go. We're going to play that for you again. We're going to go back.
Contact with the back of the head there.
Shoulder on head.
Have a look at the actions of 4 black, please.
Okay.
He's so low.
Wilfie comes on the breakdown.
Homeno, look how low Homeno is. He's dropped that arm behind him as the problem and left with the shoulder, Retallick.
Just hold on, I'm giving you the side angle and point of contact.
Okay.
Look, I don't think it's super dangerous,
all right,
but it is illegal. I think he's probably going to get a yellow.
All right, Marius.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, I'm going to describe the facts, what I'm saying now. And you...
Yeah, let me just put you on TV. Hold on.
Okay. I'll send it now.
There's a fair bit of force there. I think that's what will come into it.
All right, you're on TV. Those are the angles that I have for you.
Okay, Marius. So what we're seeing is it's definitely foul play because we have contact with the top of the neck. The player has come from the distance, and the point of contact is on the neck. So players come on the speed with a clear out season with a tucked arm, direct contact on the neck. That's what I'm saying. Do you agree with this fact?
Those facts are correct.
This sounds like red.
So for me, it's a high degree of danger with no mitigation. Because I'm not seeing any kind of mitigation, any shifting, nothing. Player has just come from the side, tucked arm directly on the neck.
That's correct. Yes, I agree with you.
3-4 for me, it's a red card offense. You okay, Jordi? Coops, Marius, you agree with me?
I agree with you.
Grant, thank you. It's a number 4, right?
So Brodie Retallick, his tour might have just come to an end.
Yeah. Look, I thought mitigation came into this, which was the impact that it had on the player, and Homeno didn't suffer any problem from it. So that takes really unnecessary force out of the equation. Then you've got to look at the clumsiness and the rest.
You come from a distance with a tucked shoulder and you made the direct contact with the player's neck. That's a high degree of danger with no mitigation. That's a red card.
So Brodie Retallick is sent off.
Your mark is 5 meters.
It'll be a penalty, Japan. New Zealand's lead now is not looking convincing at all. 11 points the lead, down to 14.
Yeah, I think possibly, as you heard Nika Mushakili say, the thing that really hurt Retallick was the fact that he tucked the arm. I think if he had led with his forearm out and still made the same contact, it would have showed that he was at least trying to clear in a positive way. The fact that he's dropped the arm counted against him. Papali'i on, looks like for Sotutu.
Well, this gives Japan a real shot. They've got to score twice, but they've got 15 minutes and a one-man advantage. Down the back it goes. They try another variation with a long throw. Spreading it wide. Here's Yamanaka. Gets it away to Matsushima. Real pressure coming from Japan now. Ball on the 22. Saito flings it wide. Van der Heever, nice ball away. Good tackle though.
Anton Lienert-Brown. He snuck on. Well, we haven't seen him, but you're dead right. What a great tackle. And I tell you what else was a momentum stifler was the tackle from Lomax. They were on a real roll, and Lomax really slowed down the momentum. They still tried to create something on the outside, and you could see Matsushima get on the tram lines, but Anton Lienert-Brown, returning from shoulder surgery, makes that an incredibly important tackle.
Gee, was it what?
Yeah, that's fine. Let's go.
Well, what a way to test out the shoulder. Now they squeeze up the line out. Wai. The All Blacks get a much-needed penalty.
Throwing across. Yeah.
Well, come what may, this has not been a convincing start at all to this tour by the All Blacks, and it still could be something very special for Japan.
Set the mark here. Don't come in. Don't touch play here.
Man down, you expect them to go to the ball.
One by Tuipulotu. Possession, everything now. Kane with the carry. Work the ball up towards the 10-metre mark through Tuipulotu. Lienert-Brown, Derns made the tackle, but it's there for Aaron Smith. Tuipulotu again, thinking about an offload. And you can see Miller getting over the ball. But in fact, the penalty's gone against Makisi.
Fair play to the All Blacks. I was only saying that because you think, work the clock, suck it up. The fact that you're down a man, you know, make sure you don't get overly fatigued should Japan strike, but the All Blacks intend to play.
Yeah, and they're winning some of that contact in it. They're wanting to pump their feet, stay up as long as they can and win that. David Havili, he looks like he's taking the field. Come on. That's what, yeah, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck.
Well, they'll look to his generalship to try and see them through this very tricky end to this match. Tuivasa-Sheck certainly had a major hand in one of the All Black tries. Taylor. Oh, they got him. It was Derns again. Got up, challenged Papali'i. Bit untidy. And Japan, well, they've got it inside their own 22. Saito sends it back. Lee belts it away into touch. But they have got the confidence now to attack the All Black line out. Derns has had a great game. Papali'i was the target the last time. This time, reaching out and grabbing it is Vai, Caleb Clark.
All the way now.
Well, the carry from Vai, but again, great force in the defence from Japan. Papali'i bustling up to the 10. Smith, Tuipulotu, Mo'unga flings it wide. Look out, Sam Cane had a defender all over him, but they've managed to free away. Nice ball from Lienert-Brown away to Clark, making a bit of space for the All Black left winger. Lomax. Again, force met with force. Havili going low into contact. Snatched away by Smith. Lienert-Brown stepping. And penalty. Well, took an extra half a metre, the referee says. Well, earlier on this year, Japan led France, and it was by no means a full-strength French team. They led them 15-7 and pretty much gave it away at the end, conceded some soft points, and France won at 20-15. Another chance presents itself here, but they're now starting to run out of time.
It'll be a big part of it, which bench really responds. It looks like both sides have completely cleared their bench. If they haven't, they're about to do it now. It's just about, again, I mentioned it about a quarter of an hour ago, who will have the energy in the last 10 minutes to grab this game by the scruff of the neck? All Blacks obviously down to 14 doesn't help.
Shoaib Takeuchi comes on for just his second cap, replacing Gujiwon. Line out for Japan. Derns, well, he went up, but eventually it was Himeno who got it. And again, nice intricate movement of the ball. Van der Heever going into Rees, who tried to rip the ball away from him. But Japan, no ball security, a premium here. Riley driven back in the tackle. He's made some really impressive moves today. Oh, intercept from David Havili. But he lost it. Japan have got it back. It's Himeno. Bumps off the first. Tackle made by Tu'ungafasi, but there to carry it on is Derns. Here come Japan. Miller. They've got numbers out wide. Yamanaka. Riley going in there to help out. Rees comes in and counters. Messy ruck. Not a great pass. Sakate, the captain, is still there. Cody Taylor trying to come through. Had to bail out of it. Riley. Stopped by Dalton Papali'i. 8 minutes to play. Japan need to score twice. Derns, good strong run again from the big man. Hands, numbers away to the left. Here they come. Matsushima stepping back in field. Ball's been lost though. Oh, it was lost by Van der Heever.
Done the hard work as well. They fought hard. They're nice and physical. The All Blacks defence was up to it, but when they created those hands on the outside, got right in behind, that's when the All Blacks were scrambling back. They needed to hold the pass. But what's hindered them all evening happened again. They shelled it.
Yeah, that needed accuracy there, didn't they? Building. It's been the story really today for Japan. They've created opportunities, but just those key moments when they've had the All Blacks rattle, just to show some accuracy in the finish.
I wonder if even now, though, there's a game tracker, if the Japanese have the confidence with the All Blacks depowered in the scrum down a man to have a real dig at turning the ball over here.
Oh, wonderful atmosphere inside this stadium. There's going to be a little break here. When they resume, there'll be just 7 to play. So New Zealand have just reconfigured the scrum a bit in order to have 2 locks out there. So Tutu is gone. That enables Vai and Tuipulotu to lock down Brodie Retallick. That's the red card, in case you missed it. Sent off in his 99th test. And quite possibly facing a suspension that'll take him out of the rest of the tour, but that's in the future. It's the next 7 minutes that matter right now. Caleb Clark is going to pack down on the side of the scrum.
Good option.
Well, again, it's not a roar from the crowd. It's just, it's applause. They do it before the scrums. Well, regardless of the outcome, this big crowd's going to go away with plenty of good memories of this game.
Oh, they certainly are. And the way that both teams have approached it. You know, the All Blacks scored their tries, but Japan equally, they've stayed in the fight when they've probably been behind the 8 ball most of the game, but their defence has been outstanding. And when they've had their sniff of opportunity on attack, they've looked dangerous every single time they've had the ball.
Japan trying to power up at scrum time, and well, the All Blacks with that makeshift scrum get the penalty. Not sure whether Caleb Clark's going to take the credit for that, but that's a bit of a miss for Japan.
And huge pressure reliever as well for the All Blacks. They did. You called it, Justin. Japan really had a crack at it as well, but the All Blacks equal to the task.
Yeah, they got pops, didn't they? Front row popped up for Japan immediately. That happened. It was always going to be advantage All Blacks.
Well, Wales, Scotland and England, I'm sure there'll be some eagle eyes on this performance. They face the All Blacks over the coming weeks. Japan, start of a very ambitious end-of-year program for them. England and France to come, but they'll be greatly encouraged by this. But right now, the All Blacks have the ball, and they're making way up towards the half. Still going ahead. Maybe Japan just tiring a little here. Boy, they'd love some extra energy. Oh, nice hands from Mo'unga. Almost lost it. Frees it up for Reece. He's dragged to the ground. Aaron Smith flings it away. Cody Taylor is there. Under 5 minutes to play. Almost through was Sevu Reece, but the ball's been hacked away by Van den Heever. Tears after it. Richie Mo'unga is back there. Gets him at the second go. Didn't release it. Penalty Japan.
Whatever they're going to do, they've got to do it quickly, Japan. If it's kick for touch, get it down into that corner and get going. They obviously need to score twice to win this test match, so the clock is working against them.
Well, now that applause does become a roar. 3.5 minutes to play. Japan need to score a try and set it up for a thrilling final couple of minutes. They take their time coming to the line-out. They want to get it right. They go to the back. Here's their chance. Makisi. Pick and go from Himeno. The goal line is just 5 metres away. Oh, just short. Papali'i made the tackle. They were almost in.
Hands. Good job.
Van den Heever waiting on the left. They go to the line. It's a try. It's a try. And who else? Who else but Himeno?
Why not? Why not? Kazuki Himeno. They executed to perfection again, Japan. I said that early in the test match, but when they needed to get it right, they got it right. The throw off the tail, they went close, they stayed patient, they had a dig, they looked like they had just about made it. Yeah, but then they stayed composed and Himeno crashed over. Aim on, big time, Millsy.
Oh, and I'll tell you what, how many tackles have they had to make? The physicality's still there. Variation once again off that line out. They stayed nice and composed. Plenty of patience here. The carry there, he's already in there. Already, Himeno almost getting there a couple of times with the Japanese, but they stayed composed. And as it opened up, I think it was Sam Cane that ended on that right-hand side. Over he goes. Well, is it on all right, Justin Marshall?
Woo, big time. They have a chance. They have a sniff. They have an opportunity.
Hold the kick, please.
They're going to have to go from deep.
Yeah, just hold the kick.
Well, Marius Jonker, I think, wants to check that the ball's been grounded over the line.
Look at this, please. There's new information on this try, please.
All right. Time is off. Time is off.
We'll want to clear this,
all right,
this passage of play, please.
So there has been a law change. Once the conversion had gone over previously, you were unable to go back. It had been completed, but under the new law, if the TMO sees something, even though that's happened, which he has, you can go back. So there's been a massive change in that regard. That's why we are getting this.
Well, Marius Jonker, I don't think is convinced that the ball's been grounded over the line or maybe dropped And that tackle by Sam Cane.
Yeah, we're looking at the front angle here.
Right.
Just clearing it.
Looks like the tip of the ball's on the line, does it?
Obviously, what we want here is, as the player is holding the ball, there needs to be clear separation with he's grounding the ball with pressure.
Okay.
Has that been jolted clear by the tackle of Sam Cane?
Clear separation between the ball and the
I don't think this is going to stand.
Right.
All right, so we can go with the honourable decision. We can't do anything on that angle.
Yeah, because I'm seeing a hand all the way around until the ball is pressed.
Yeah,
Do you agree with it, Jordy? Goes, you all right with that? All right.
After this is fine.
Yeah, try stands.
No, try stands.
I certainly think that there was enough momentum there that possibly rattled the ball and dislodged it, but he never really lost control before it was grounded.
Well, that's the judgment.
Well, it wasn't clear enough, was it?
Yeah, not enough to overturn it.
I agree.
And you think about a couple of decisions that went perhaps not Japan's way earlier in the game. So, a minute and a half to play. Japan 80 metres away from history.
Against 14 men.
They talk about that win in Brighton as being the biggest upset in rugby history. Well, this would go close to emulating that, eclipsing it. A win over the All Blacks, and it's on. And this man's had so much to do with their performance. Dylan Riley. Time almost up. Dalton Papali'i storms forward to make the tackle on Derns. All about defence now for the All Blacks. Matsushima trying to make his way back in field, put on the ground. There's been a siren, maybe time is up. Oh, big tackle made by Leonard Brown. He's made a couple of huge moves since coming on. New Zealand have knocked it on, though, so it's still Japan ball, but now they've got 90 metres to go. Japan, a long way to go. They've just got to hang on to the ball and hope something opens up. The advantage is over for the knock-on. Cornelsen wrestled to the ground. Saito wants it quickly. Now here's Matsushima. Trying to hold him up, Havili, but he manages to scramble it away to Saito. Makisi. Papali'i going in, trying to win it back for New Zealand. They get the penalty. Aaron Smith got in there as well.
It was Dalton Papali'i. I tell you what, he has been in the fight at every breakdown, but that is simply outstanding defence from the All Blacks. Didn't fall off a tackle. Contested legally every breakdown, and eventually they won the penalty.
Shot call.
Well, history on the line. They've responded. And they're going to take the shot at goal. Really, this is just about seeing the match out. Boy, what a struggle this has been. Every time they've tried to put space on Japan, Japan have come back. They're not going to get the history-making win, but they will take so much from this.
I tell you, when they were working their way out, they had created the space on the outside, and a pass went to ground again, and it got them all the way back to when you mentioned they had 90 to go. That was pivotal in their attempt to win this match.
Mo'unga, the penalty goes over, and the All Blacks do enough, but no more than that. Heroic from Japan. 38-31. By far the tightest margin ever between these two sides. Japan gave themselves a chance. They played some fantastic rugby. But in the end, the All Blacks win it by 38-31.